Hey, David here with DIY Mountain Bike. Going to talk about making a mountain bike or even any bike that doesn't have a rear suspension more comfortable. How to make it more comfortable by installing a suspension seat post. So we got this bike maybe a year and a half ago. My wife and I love to bike together, but we just have different kind of fitness levels. And multiple years ago, I was riding some roads really, in the Smoky Mountains, and someone passed me going up a hill, and she was a little bit older than me, and I was like, what the heck? So at the next stop, I talked to him. It was an e-bike, so after that, it was like, get on the mission to get my wife one of these so we can go on longer trips together. We had rented a couple e-bikes to make her comfortable. Anyhow, let's get into installing this seat post and a little things you need to kind of watch out for in order to make sure you can make a system, a really comfortable system attached to your bike. So we're going to disassemble some things. I'm going to put the camera on fast forward while I take off this rack. Fortunately, the rack's got to come off, but I got an idea for another rack coming. And subscribe so you can see that installation as it comes through. So watch what we've got coming on here, okay? Don't get too far, let me go over the tools. This is gonna be camera I'm gonna use to kind of video this suspension, but I'm gonna talk about some things that calipers might be good. Just more to give you a heads up on what type of equipment you got. Possibly a screwdriver, a torque wrench, more for taking off that rack that I currently have on the bike, and then a trusty multi-tool will get most of it done. In this bag is the instructions for the suspension seat post that I got. It's called a Suntour SP12. We'll get into that some more when we get into installing. All right, so part of this installation is measuring what size seat post you need to get. The correct seat post with the suspension unit. So the seat tube and seat post from most bikes come in 3 standard sizes. Usually those are 27.2, 30.9, and 31.6. So you can measure that with a pair of calipers if you have it, or if you've got a small little metric scale, you can measure it as well. So the concern is that the seat tube currently on this bike is about 30.4, and that doesn't fit the different units that Suntour sells. So I had to buy a size smaller. I bought a 27.2 seat post for the Suntour, okay? And I got this adapter that converted it to the correct size. Since I couldn't buy the right size adapter from Suntour, I shouldn't say adapter, the right size seat post from Suntour. So these are really common. I will put a link in the description where you can find these. A couple, $6, $8, $10. You can get this adapter. I would suggest getting this adapter if you cannot find the right size. So what you need to do, measure your seat post diameter, right? So this guy ended up being 30.4, I'm sorry. So that didn't fit what was sold. I bought the adapter. You slide the adapter in. I like to put the adapter in where the notch aligns with the notch on the bike seat tube. With that in place, you can quickly just drop in your new seat post with the suspension. Kind of tighten it up a little bit, adjust it, and then go the rest of the way tightening this up. So my wife did test this guy out already, really liked it. And then I'm gonna also show some video I did with the suspension working out on a road. So stay tuned for that. Hey, stay tuned for my next video, which is gonna be putting a rack. Found a fantastic rack with an integrated bag on Amazon. We'll stick that guy on here so I have a replacement rack. More of a picnic rack because my wife and I do a lot of riding together, and then, you know, stopping, drinking some water, eating some lunch, whatever it might be. Thanks. And then we're gonna attach our seat post, right? I'm gonna tighten this up just a little bit. And then we're gonna swap over the seat, right? Just down a little bit more. Tighten this guy up a little bit more. Now, if you noticed on that rack, I had actually attaches to the seat post. I don't have the room to do that, and my wife is a little bit shorter. Let's come down just a little bit more. I know that this is different than what she had. All right, so we got that guy in there. Now it's just a matter of changing out our seat. Now I'm not gonna go in depth into changing the seat. I mean, you can watch me, I'm gonna fast forward through it. But I'll point to the other video I did where I swap out the seat. But we're coming up to the spot and my wife almost took a spill. So it's a section of this road right here. You can see the potholes. And so what I want to try to do is video how the suspension on this Sun Tour seat post works out. So let me get turned around and take this video.